Hi boys and girls, welcome to another Read Aloud video. In today's video, we are going to be reading the story, Going to the Firehouse. Now, we are going to be reading this story because we are talking about community helpers, people in the community that have jobs that help people. And a firefighter is certainly somebody in the community who is helping people put out fires, helping people save people's lives, save animals' lives. So they are very, very important part of the community, and they are certainly community helpers. So we are going to be reading this story. Now, as we read the story, I want you guys to think about some connections you can make. So let's look at our connections poster. Now, these are the different kinds of connections we can make. This is text to text, text to me, and text to world. We can make text to text connections by making a connection between the book we're reading and another book we've read. So maybe when we read this book, you can be thinking about a different sort of book and you can make a connection. Like this book reminds me of another book we read. The next connection is text to me. We can make text to me connections between making a connection between a book and something we've experienced. So maybe when you read this book, you make a connection about something you've experienced. Maybe you've been to a firehouse, or you've seen a firefighter. So you can make a connection to something that you've done. And lastly, a text to world. Now we can make a text to world connection when we make a connection between a book and something we learned about in the world. Maybe through the TV, through the computer, or something someone told us. So you can make a connection to anything that you've ever thought about. Maybe a book, a show, something you've watched on YouTube. So let's think about the kind of connections that we can make when we read this story, okay? So all these sorts of connections. What kind of connections did you make? So let's read the story and figure out what kind of connection that we can make. Now, everyone's connection might be different. So going to the firehouse. Let's get started. Today, my class is going to the firehouse. I dress like a fireman. Time to fight a fire. This is Fireman Joe. This is his dog, Sparky. Sparky is a fire dog. Fireman Joe has boots, he has a jacket, he has a helmet. I have boots, I have a jacket, I do not have a helmet. Joe slides down the pole. Sparky howls. That is what he does when there is a fire. So he's sliding down the pole and his dog is howling. We see a fire truck. It is big. It is red. It has hoses and a ladder. Hoses and a ladder. See the ladder? Joe checks the hoses. He lets me help. Whoosh goes the water. The hose is working fine. Joe checks the ladder. He goes up and up. He is in the sky. Hello, Fireman Joe. Joe checks the siren. It goes, ooh-ee, ooh-ee. The siren is very loud. I cover my ears. Joe tells us about fires. He tells us smoke goes up. When smoke goes up, we must go down to the floor. Remember, smoke goes up, you go down. I get on the floor. Joe tells us what to do if we are on fire. Stop, drop, and roll. I stop, drop, and roll. Fireman Joe smiles. He has a surprise. He reaches into his truck, helmets for everyone. I put on my helmet. Joe tells me I will be a good fireman one day. Ding, ding goes the fire alarm. I wave goodbye to Fireman Joe. I wave goodbye to Sparky. Time to fight a fire. Fireman Joe is ready to go. Sparky is too. They're ready to go catch a fire. All right, boys and girls. So as we were reading that story, you guys were thinking about some kind of connection you made. So it could be a connection to another story that we've read, a connection to something you've done, or a connection to anything, a movie, a TV show, something that you thought about while you were reading this. So I made a couple connections and I'll share them with you guys if you guys are trying to think about maybe some of your connections. Now, on this page, when he was playing with the fire hose, I made a text to me connection because I remember our message of the day today was we are going to spray the hose, and it reminded me of this when he sprays the hose on this page. So I made a connection from the book to our message of the day. Let's see, I think I made one more connection. Oh, on this page it says, the siren is very loud, I cover my ears. I made a text to world connection because when I read this, I cover my ears because it's too loud. I thought about when we're at school and we have a fire drill and it's so loud and we cover our ears because of the sirens are going woo, 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 right? They're super loud. So when I read this part of the story, I made a connection to when we're at school and the sirens are on loud. Okay, so those are some of the connections I made. What kind of connection did you guys make? Maybe you make a text to world connection because you've seen a firefighter. Maybe one of your parents is a firefighter. Okay, so think about all sorts of connections that you made while you were reading this story. And tell somebody in your family some of the connections that you made while you read Going to the Firehouse. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story and that you made a connection. But I will see you on our next video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye, friends. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.